What is going on, Raptors Nation? It is Luca here, back with another video. Boy, was that ever a tough game to watch. I think Jack Armstrong summarized that Raptors-Wizards game perfectly when he said, "I'll remember this game for as long as it takes me to get to my car." That was an absolute chore to get through. Some bad basketball displayed by both teams. The Raptors, they lose to the Washington Wizards 113-95. And man, was this ever as bad of a start to a game as you could ever imagine. There was 19 total turnovers and 18 total fouls in that first quarter between the Raptors and the Wizards. As the Raptors, there weren't many bright spots in this one for them. What do we want to get to first? The ugly or the good? You know what? Let's talk about the bright spots. Let's begin this video on a high note. Just because it is the preseason, we'll cut the team a little bit of slack. But the biggest storyline heading into this game, guys, by the way, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Scottie Barnes is back. That is the biggest positive. Scottie Barnes back. Great to see him back out there on the court. First game since March 1st when he suffered that season-ending surgery. And you saw Barnes in this one. He was eager, ready to go out of the get-go. He had 2 buckets, a nice dime in the first minute, which caused the Wizards to use a timeout. Barnes had a nice third quarter as well, finishing this game with 16 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. After the hot start in the first quarter, he did turn the ball over a ton and did pick up 3 fouls. He had 5 turnovers overall. So Scottie obviously going to have to tighten up on that component to his game, not turn the ball over as much. I thought there were a couple of instances where he tried to do too much and force the issue. All in all, I mean, it was just nice to see Scottie Barnes, be out there on the court. He had a nice shot with the hand in his face. He was 7 of 15 from the field, very efficient. 0 of 5 from 3, so not efficient from 3, but obviously with Barnes, that 3-point shot, he improved it last season. Hopefully he can make another mini leap with that shot this season. But overall, yeah, it was nice to see Barnes back out there. It's going to take him some time to get back into game speed, game rhythm, playing amongst his teammates. Like they alluded to in the broadcast, it's one thing to play pickup basketball, play in practice, and it's another to actually get back out there with a live audience in a competitive NBA game. And it was just good to see Scottie get those competitive juices flowing, getting out there and competing at a high level. And you could see he had a pep in his step, especially early on. And he did get 20 minutes in this game. He's probably going to get some more games here, as the Raptors do have 3 preseason games left. So I would think we'll see him definitely against the Celtics and possibly against the Celtics again. And then the Raptors will probably sit him in that last preseason game. But that was one of the positives. Jakob Poeltl, I thought, was good in his minutes. He had 10 points, 5 of 7 shooting from the field in 20 minutes. And then Chris Boucher. I mean, Chris Boucher, he was on a mission, man. Like, Chris Boucher, this could very well be his redemption season. It's looking like that. Coming off a very poor campaign, Boucher was not playing around, guys. 22 points, 7 rebounds, 7 of 10 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. He was his team's best player. He had that look in his eye, and you could look at this through both lenses. Chris Boucher, he is trying to earn himself back into the rotation, or on the other side of it, this is going to up his trade value. Contract year, veteran player, doesn't fit the Raptors rebuild. Can Chris Boucher up his value, and is he going to be a name that the Raptors potentially look to move closer to the trade deadline along the likes of a Bruce Brown? So Boucher, he said he wanted to be a better veteran, wanted to be a better mentor to the younger players. And one way to do that is lead by example, go out there, not complain, play hard. And he gave his effort and energy in this one when the Raptors really needed effort and energy. But outside of that, man, this was just a tough go for the Raptors. I mean, a big concern for them is going to be 3-point shooting. And again, I don't want to overreact to a preseason game. You got to take account the fact that they didn't have Emmanuel Quigley, RJ Barrett. Those guys, obviously, 2 of the Raptors' better 3-point shooters. No Bruce Brown as well. But Raptors shot it just 7 of 33 from 3. And you got to think, guys, they just lost their best 3-point shooter in Gary Trent Jr. This is a team that hasn't been able to shoot the three ball well over the last couple of seasons. You really don't want this to be a theme this season where we have these terrible shooting nights from the Raptors where they are getting good looks, but they're just not hitting them. They shot 21.2%. And then it was the opposite for the Wizards. The Wizards won this game because of the three ball. The Wizards hit 17 threes. They were 35 of 76 from the field, but 17 of 43 from three. I know that's not a good percentage. That's under 40%, but 17 threes, that was the key for them. They were hitting their three balls. The Raptors were not. The Raptors just very, very cold from three, shot just 35.8% from the field. And then going back to the turnovers, very sloppy play from this basketball team. I know it was both teams playing sloppy, but the Raptors, I mean, Darko's definitely not going to like this team turning the ball over 23 times and committing 32 fouls. Like, those are two areas that you need to get better at if you're this Raptors team. Not making silly fouls and not having so many turnovers. And you look at the points conceded off turnovers, 21 points the Raptors conceded to the Wizards. So that is a big number, and you don't want to see that during the season because that is not going to result in this team winning many games. As the Raptors sloppy with it, couldn't hit their shots, and you look at some other players in this one. Grady Dick struggled to shoot the basketball. You want to see him shoot more threes. It was good to see him finally hit some threes in this one after he went 0-4 in his first preseason game. Abaji got the start. You really want to see him develop as that 3-and-D type player. But again, that jumper of his, inconsistent, 2 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. Davion Mitchell got the start. He had some good reads, some good feeds in this one. 6 assists, 4 rebounds, but 3 points, just 1 of 3 from the field. And I thought Jamal Shed, he did have another quality outing. This is obviously a guy Raptors fans are looking forward to watching. He got off to such a nice start to his career in that first preseason game. He did have 6 points, 2 assists, but for Jamal Shed, in order for him to carve out a meaningful role, he's going to have to hit that outside shot. And in this game, he shot just a 1 of 8 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. So that's going to really tell you if Shed is going to have a successful career, because for as much as he can play strong defense, get to the basket, you're going to have to develop an outside shot, or at least a respectable enough of a shot where you have the defense have to worry about that. And the same goes with Davion Mitchell. You know, Davion Mitchell is going to do a good job defensively. We saw the Raptors continue that ball pressure, point of attack defense. But when it comes to those backups in Shed and Mitchell, if they don't develop a bit of a jumper that has the defense respecting the fact that they can make a shot, it's going to be tough for these guys going forward. That is something that is going to be interesting to monitor. Carden struggled too, just 1 of 7 from the field. It was just a bad shooting day. This bench for the Raptors struggled mightily. Ramsey, 2 of 7. Mobo, 2 of 6. Fernando played 17 minutes, 6 points, but he was 2 of 9. He did have 4 steals, though. So yeah, outside of Chris Boucher, who again was the standout in this one, there was not a whole lot going on with this bench. And really, outside of Boucher, Scottie, and I'll be fair when I say Pirtle, there was a lot of poor play tonight, to say the least. You could definitely tell that this was a preseason game. And that's the thing. It's a preseason game. You don't want to look so far into it. Again, the Raptors missing 2 starters, missing Bruce Brown, Jacoby Walter. But you look at these players outside of, you know, the Barnes of the world, the Quickleys of the world, the Barretts of the world, where is the production going to come from? Where is the scoring going to come from? Where is the consistent shot making going to come from? Because if it's going to be a matter of the Raptors having to rely on Barnes, Quickly, and Barrett to go off every single game, it's going to be tough for this team to win many basketball games. I thought that was the biggest glaring thing when watching this team, is the fact that beyond the Raptors core, obviously we didn't see 2 of the 3 tonight. Where's the talent level of this team? Because going up against a Wizards team that is not good at all, you can make a case that this is probably going to be the worst team in the NBA this season. The Wizards look like they had more talent at different parts of this game compared to the Raptors. I mean, you look at some of the production the Wizards got from their bench. compared to what the Raptors got from their bench. If you're not getting 22 points from Chris Boucher, who is not going to be on the long-term outlook of this team, this thing would have been even more ugly than it ended up being. So again, who are the consistent contributors going to be on this team beyond barbecue? Can Grady Dick get it going consistently with his offense? Can some of these bench players carve out significant roles? And the biggest thing, like I said, with Shed and Mitchell, it's not the defensive side of the ball because they're going to hold their own. It's the offensive side of the ball. Can they do enough where they can have the opponents respect their game from the perimeter and be a little bit more of a threat when it comes to that outside shot? So these are all going to be things to monitor, but the Raptors, they lose. They're 1-1. Luckily for us, we won't have to see another Raptors-Wizards game until January 25th, 2025, as these teams will not play each other to start the season. They're actually going to play each other, like I said, for the first time in the new year, and they're going to play each other 3 times in March. So that just tells you how tough the schedule is for this Raptors team out of the get-go. But guys, what were some of your takeaways for this game? Some of the things that caught your attention, stood out to you? Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Comment your thoughts down below. That is it for me. It's Lucas signing off. The Raptors will be back in action on Sunday against the Celtics. I will have a post-game video following the conclusion of that game. That is it for me. Lucas signing off. Thanks for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.